Goal setting. Why bother? We're at that time of the year, gang, where lots of people are reflecting on 2020 and thinking about the goals that they set last year and thinking, why should I even bother setting goals going forward for 2021? I mean, what's the point? How do they even work? Why should I bother? I'm Aura McKay. I'm the founder of Business of Creativity, and I'm here to help creative freelancers and solopreneurs just like you bridge the gap between this creative genius that we have and making a living and having a life doing work we love. And one of the things that is at the core for the successes that I've experienced and the things that I've helped my clients achieve is goals. And I know a lot of creatives really struggle with the word goals. A lot of people really struggle with goals because I think that we have a little bit of a misconception about what they are and how they work. And I know that a lot of people struggle with, why bother setting goals when I never achieve them anyways? And it feels like I'm setting myself up for failure instead of setting myself up for success. And, you know, that's a really great question. And I think that it comes from sometimes we have an expectation of goals that isn't necessarily how they work. So let me tell you, in today's Coaching for Creatives, I want to talk about how goals work. So why bother setting them and what to do around, I had another thing I was going to say around goals, but basically I'm going to talk about all about goals. And then next week, I'm going to talk about how to actually set them. So this week is why bother, next week is how to do it. And that's all in preparation for a hands-on workshop called Focus, Clarity, and Action. And that's going to give you a hint as to why bother setting goals. One of the challenges for creatives specifically is being multi-passionate and having so many things that we love doing, that we want to do, so many ideas, so many things that pull us in a specific direction. So a lot of times, you know, some of what goal setting does is it just helps us to focus on what it is we actually want to get accomplished, to help us to kind of bring all of that energy and ideas and enthusiasm and bring it to focus on a specific area of our life or business. Because gang, when we're focused, we're more effective. So even the process of thinking about goals, thinking about where you might want to be in a certain time from now, next year or 6 months, or your goals for the weekend even, what you're doing is you're focusing your intentions and your energy, and you're deciding what really matters to you. So one of the ways that goals work is it helps us to sift through all of our different ideas and to choose something to focus on. Now, the great thing is that we don't have to choose the right thing to focus on. Oh yeah, I know, right? This is like, we don't have to focus on the right thing. You don't have to choose the right goal or the right thing. The act of focusing will help to guide your energy, guide your time, guide your focus. And eventually you'll learn whether or not that goal is the right goal for you. But you probably won't know immediately. It's just like when you go out for dinner and you're trying to decide between chicken and fish, chicken and fish, chicken and fish. And as soon as you decide one or the other, it becomes really crystal clear to you about whether or not you made the right choice. But if we sit over here and we're just thinking about things without actually choosing anything, and that setting a goal is that act of choosing. And the act of choosing helps us to be super clear about whether or not something's working, helps us to focus our time, effort, and energy. So how do goals really work? Because many of us set these goals and we're encouraged to set like these big, hairy, audacious goals, and then we don't reach them. And so then it's like this feeling of, you know, I'm a failure, I didn't reach my goals, what's the matter with me? And it can occur like as this burden, as this thing we have to carry around, as an obligation, as something like we shoulda, woulda, coulda, oughta be doing. Instead, if we treat goals like a North Star, like a magnet, like something that is going to help us and compel us to stretch, to go further, to move past where maybe our own habitual limitations might live. So goals are there to help us push beyond what we might do if we didn't have a focus or we didn't have clarity. They're that North Star. They're pulling us farther than we would go if we didn't have a goal in the first place. There's a saying that says, aim for the stars, because even if you don't hit the stars, you may reach the moon. And if we don't aim for the stars, we might never reach the moon. So goals then are not a to-do list. Those are the action items or the steps that you're going to take to get to the goals. A goal is what it is that you're aiming for. It's not necessarily how you're going to get there. The action plan is how you're going to get there. The goals are what you're aiming for. And if you have a clear target, a focus for where you're aiming, it's going to optimize all of the work that you're doing. It's going to give your work purpose and meaning. That's a big challenge for a lot of us right now, where we're going through the pandemic and we don't really necessarily know about, why things aren't working, and we're kind of losing motivation, and, having no purpose and no meaning is really, it's really destructive to our own mental health and well-being. So having a goal gives you a purpose and meaning. It's a reason to get up in the morning because you have this goal. So how do you set those powerful goals? We're going to work on the step-by-step of it next session in Coaching for Creatives. But the thing to remember is that you want goals that are inspiring and exciting and that fill you up. So oftentimes we set obligation goals or goals that we think we should set for ourselves or our business. A lot of those are around weight loss. Let me tell you, there's a lot of shooting all over ourselves around weight loss. But for our business, there might be things like, oh, I should start a blog. Oh, I should be posting on social media. I should. And so if your goals are just a bunch of shitting on yourself, they're probably not going to be effective at doing their job, which is to inspire us and to compel us and to pull us farther than we would go if we didn't have them, which is to help us focus our energy and our time, which is to help us get purpose and meaning in our lives. So all of these things are great if we set goals that are meaningful to us. So that's the other piece about setting goals that are meaningful to you and really thinking about and getting connected to why those goals matter. So that's another piece of setting effective goals. And we're going to go into how do you actually set effective goals next session. And as I said, we're going to have a 2-hour hands-on workshop to help you set yourself up for success in 2021 instead of set yourself up for disappointment and failure. And I get it, gang. There's the whole, once bitten, twice shy, yeah, I made goals and I set goals for 2020 and look where that got me. Yeah, we set our goals based on who we are in this moment and who the world is in this moment. And we do our best to guess at what's going to make us fulfilled and help us feel successful in 6 months or in a year from now. We're really making our best guess when we set a goal. It's not the truth. It's not reality. It's what we know or we believe is going to be fulfilling for us in the future based on who we are in the moment. And then life happens. Sometimes our priorities change. Maybe we get into a new relationship. Maybe we get a new business opportunity, and the things we thought were going to be important to us shift and change. So how do you set goals being mindful that the world can shift and change and that we can shift and change too. So there's a way of setting goals to help you navigate through a dynamic, changing marketplace, to help us navigate through external circumstances that are really outside of our own control, but still stay focused on what matters so that we're not wasting our time and energy, clear about why we're going there, having that direction, and being able to move past what maybe our default limitations are. It's all part of the idea that we can design our lives and business with intention to create a lifestyle that works for us, a business where we have clients and projects that we love and earns us a living. It is possible. I have a more than 20-year career as a creative entrepreneur. I've navigated my way through COVID so far. I navigated my way through 2008's extreme economic downfall. And my background in finance and marketing is here to support you to have a similar experience of being able to design, build, and grow your creative business. And one of the key ways to do that is to set some meaningful goals for yourself and for your business. And if you don't like the word goal, we can use the word milestone. There's all different ways of being able to help you shift your mindset and your current beliefs about goals so that you can leverage the power of goals to achieve results in your business. So, any questions that you might have, any challenges around goals or setting goals or the idea of it, I'm happy to answer them. Dump them in the comments. I always check the comments, and I'm always going back to them to make sure that I am truly supporting you to have the kind of transformation that I want for you. So gang, I'm Aura McKay. I am the founder of Business of Creativity, and I will see you here next week on Coaching for Creatives Live. Thanks so much. Have a great week.